Energized show, up the Irish.
Okay, what's going on, guys? Welcome to a brand new episode of Energized. Russ, introduce the champ, man.
Today we have the Cage Warriors featherweight champion. It's Jordan, the epidemic Vucenic. Jordan, how are you doing, man?
On top of the world, boys. On top of the world.
Jordan, we're not long away. And we're not removed far from Cage Warriors London. It's going to be an absolute banger. How excited are you for this one?
I'm buzzing. I was ready to go ages ago. I wanted to fight straight away when they got off. When they offered me, I was asking for it months ago, but we're here now. We're finally here.
Yeah, we are indeed.
Ross, before we get into it as well, like when the announcement was made, it was sort of leaked. And then when it came out, like everyone was absolutely buzzing for this rematch.
Yeah, I think this is the biggest fight that can be possibly made in Cage Warriors right now. I think it's maybe one of the biggest fights in Cage Warriors in history. Like this has the same feel to, like, you know, a Paddy Pimblett in his prime, a Conor McGregor in his prime. Like, these are two of the best fighters on the roster, and it's going to be one of the best cards of the year as well. Look, November 4th is getting absolute stacked, and we're looking to be there ourselves. It's going to be an absolute epic night. Does this have a big fight feel for you, Jordan?
Yeah, it does. I don't think it's been as I don't think it's been as promoted as the last one sort of was. But I think that's because a lot of people are there was a lot gone into the last one for it not to happen. So I think they're sort of holding their cards close to their chest this time in case anything doesn't happen. But still feel you know, and still a big buzz in the gym for me.
Yeah, it was like unbelievably hyped last time. Myself and Ross went over to watch it. Like the people Paul brought over, like even the people who supporting you as well. The place was like a cauldron. It was it was a fantastic night. Like obviously you got the win in the end. You're still the champ, but like how did that feel as well, getting that win in front of your audience as well?
Yeah, it was amazing. I mean, I've said it on other things. I didn't expect it to be as big as it was. So that's why I'm sort of not trying to expect it to be as big as it was the last time. I don't want to walk out and it to be the opposite, for it not to be as big as I think it's going to be. But yeah, it was amazing last night. And like I said, the only thing that could have made that better, it would have been Hughes standing across from me and not Hendon. That's the only thing that could have topped that night.
Yeah, because Ross, do you remember at the end when Jordan came in after with the belt and with your girlfriend or partner? Like it was like very emotional to see. It was just it was an amazing night, amazing way to end off the night as well.
Yeah, I think the first thing Jordan said when he walked into the meeting room was, "Where's my glasses, lads? Better happen for me." And it felt slightly threatening, but like we had them ready for you. You know, promises made, promises kept. Jordan, correct?
Oh, I was a bit upset because it wasn't the glasses. You had a different set, didn't you? You had a green set for me. They weren't the real deal. I was a bit upset by that.
No, they're limited edition ones. The green ones. They are the glasses when we go on the road. You know, I need
the original.
See, there's only actually 2 pairs of the OGs, and they actually have to stay in the house. They don't leave the house because
no, they can't leave. They can't leave.
Yeah, so if they leave the house and they go missing, like we almost cancelled the show one day because I couldn't find my glasses. Swear to God, honest truth, Jordan.
Honest truth.
As well about the last one feeling bigger. Like we even did more. We did like a face to face. You know what they do in the boxing, how you're supposed to sit across from each other. We did stuff like that. We went to watch a Cage Warriors together. We did loads of stuff like that, and none of that's happened this time. So again, that's why another reason. But I suppose they probably don't want to be spending all that money again for it not to happen again. Do you know what I mean? Not that it's not going to happen, but you know.
You know, we mentioned off air, like we did try and get a face off to yourself and Paul. It was like the most requested face off we've ever been asked to do. But like this time around again, Paul said he didn't want to take part. Now we have to respect his opinion, but what was your thoughts on that as well? Because you want to hype the fight up as much as Paul does, and the fans want to see it as well.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I don't know. Maybe he didn't have time to write down his notes and memorize them before he come on. Maybe he's asked him a bit too late. I'm sure if you asked him a couple of weeks ago to do it, he'd have had a script written ready to go. So maybe next time ask him a bit earlier, if there ever is a next time.
Yeah, Vucenic used 3. Without seeing the second fight, I'd pay to see it. Jordan, tell us this: when the fight was announced, or in the lead up to the fight being announced, obviously you put out a post, I think on Facebook it was at the time, maybe it was on Instagram, and it was it was quite a heartfelt post, and you were saying, look, if you don't get the UFC call, like, you'd even consider hanging up the gloves. Where were you at mentally at that time, and do you regret putting out that post at the time, or was that just how you felt at the moment?
Still at the same. Still feel the same. Competing at the level I'm competing at for the money I'm competing for is just mental to be trying to sustain that for a lot of longer amount of time. And some people got it wrong how I said it. I didn't say if I lose to Paul I'm done with fighting. I didn't say that because then I have something to build on. Do you know what I mean? I said it's if I beat Paul and the UFC don't come and I'm sort of stuck in that catch-22 where I'm at the top, but there's nowhere else for me to go, sort of thing. Then, do you know what I mean? It's going to be hard to get motivated to do anything else. I mean, the only sort of thing I could think of that would motivate me if the UFC didn't come after I beat Hughes would be to go up to lightweight and challenge for that belt. But I just need to see what happens, who has the title. And I've sparred with George, the guy who has the belt now, and I know obviously business is business and stuff like that, and I've got to do what's best for my career. But yeah, I just need to wait and see. But as far as any other featherweights coming up, I've beat all the top ones already. So what is there left for me to do, really?
Yeah, that is true. Like, if you look at the ones who are on the cusp, like Steve Abel, you've beaten him. Morgan Charrier, you've beaten him, and now you obviously rematch Paul Hughes. Not that I really want to see you fight George Hardwick either, because we love both you guys, but it would definitely be something I would watch. I wouldn't change the channel.
Yeah, and we've had some.
Trying to go over us again.
He's coming down to our gym for sparring. He's he's a good body and he's a good guy. I mean, I'm excited to watch him versus Steve Amable as well. Very technical guy, very very good guy.
Yeah, and tell us this: did he hit you one of those body shots?
What's that?
Did he hit you one of those left body shots?
Did what? Did
George?
Hardwick?
Yeah.
Oh, did no, I can't say he did.
Did he give you a Parmo on the post?
He didn't either. He didn't give me no Parmo.
Jeez,
I mean, maybe that's where the beef will start.
That's definitely the beef. That's where we'll start it. Jordan, also recently, Mike Figulac got the shout to come up to UFC Paris. Was there any talk of yourself getting a call up to UFC Paris?
No. I honestly don't know what's going on with it. I don't know who I've pissed off, man. But no, I get no mentions, no nothings. Mental. I don't know. The UFC just don't want me. It's simple as that. At the minute, it seems I need to stab someone or something, get my street cred up. Obviously, not really, but I need to go.
Ross will be over there November 4th, so you can sort that out.
We'll get your street card up. We'll get this up on UFC Fight Pass, Jordan. So don't worry about it.
Ross, I think he needs a pair of the original glasses for street cred. I love it, but like Jordan, there's something like the Contender Series, like how like you've obviously seen people go on that, like even the likes of Bo Nickel now exploding. Like, is that something you'd be interested in?
Yeah, I suppose so. But no discredit to the guys that have been on there, but I just think I'm levels above all the guys that they've sort of had on there. I mean, you look, what was Bo Nickel getting on there? 2-0, 1-0, something like that. If I beat Hughes and then I'm on the Contender Series, I'm going to be 10-1. That's just mental. And especially the caliber of the guys I beat, do you know what I mean? Defended the Cage Warriors belt, it'll be twice by then, 10-1. And I'm still having to prove I'm UFC level. I don't get how that is even a thing. I don't see how that's feasible. I think I should be straight in. I think I should be in there now, but yeah, I don't know. It's a weird one, isn't it?
Jordan, do you think maybe the array of British talent at the moment is actually in some way hindering you? If there was actually less British talent in the UFC right now, something like a UFC London, it might have been easier for you to get on. But like, even some of the UK fighters are actually struggling to get on the British cards.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, there's so many high-level guys coming through. I mean, there's so many high-level guys up there as well. And You would have thought, like Paddy and Molly doing their thing and getting all the hype they're getting, you'd have thought they would have been desperate for some UK guys on there. I just don't know. And I honestly believe I can beat all of these top name guys already, but I just need my shot to prove it, don't I? It's as simple as that. And if I don't get the chance to prove it, what else am I going to do?
Yeah, even Dom Wooding and Reese McKee have talked about this as well. They're waiting for their call up as well.
Yeah, it's definitely a tricky spot. I think so many fighters before we've seen they've won the belt of Cage Warriors and they just got that call up maybe instantly. And I think now it's not as much of a dead cert now once you win the belt to get the call.
Yeah.
And like, look, I think almost defend the belts twice, which you'll be doing for a second time November 4th. That's nearly unheard of in recent times.
Yeah, exactly that. Especially at featherweight as well. It just seems every featherweight that gets it moves straight on, doesn't it?
Ross, do you think that's the situation? There's just so many British fighters on the roster that that'd be a reason? Or or what do you think?
I don't think it's necessarily in a negative way. I just think that obviously they've come over to London twice, and obviously they want to put a lot of British fighters on the London cards. Like you've had your Paddies, Tom Aspinalls, Mollys, Mohamed Mokaev, even like the likes of Paul Craig and stuff got on the card. They've been very British heavy in the cards, and just because there's so much talent in Britain, they can only put so many people on a card. So I think that's where, if there was actually less talent in Britain, obviously Jordan's name would stand out even further. But because there's so much talent already in the UFC, I think that's where it makes it harder for some of these guys at the moment. I don't know. What are your thoughts, Jordan?
British guy, why not? I'll just fight one of the British guys, either featherweight or lightweight. I'll fight a British guy. Do you know what I mean? If that's what I have to do to do it, that's what I'll do. I know it's obviously like UK versus the world when you're on the UFC, but I've been fighting UK guys my whole career. I'll keep fighting them. It doesn't bother me.
Yeah. Well, Mason Jones is now off the roster, and then Paddy and Molly are now moving on to pay-per-views in America. So that is freeing up some options as well. So I'm sure on November 4th, either the winner yourself or Paul will get the call up. Like, it seems to make sense, because this, as Ross said at the beginning of the show, this is like one of the most anticipated Cage Warriors fights that like we're going to see or have seen in a long time.
Yeah.
Tell us this.
To be fair.
Yeah, true. Jordan, tell us this. Obviously, the relationship with you and Paul has been like, I'm going to call it up and down. Like, you've been very, very friendly. You've had a bit of joke and banter. Then, like, obviously, I wouldn't say anything's got like sinister or anything, but like, you've fired a few shots at each other also that like are maybe less friendly from time to time. Where does the relationship with you and Paul stand right now?
Business is business, isn't it? I think I think I quite got on with him when I'm with him in real life, but business is business, and he has a persona he needs to keep up. I've said it many a times, and his persona is that he's a bit of an asshole. So he needs to keep that up. I'm not asked. I mean, the first time I fought him, I really wanted to try get after him, and I really wanted to make a statement with him. But this time, it's for me. This time, I'm just going out there to show that I'm on top of the heap. Do you know what I mean? That I'm the boy that everybody needs to keep their eye on. That's how I'm seeing it this time.
What have your interactions been like with him in the build of this fight? Have you been speaking to him, or?
Compared to the last one, we had a little bit of back and forth in the beginning when I put the post up and stuff like that. I know I mentioned it just before the podcast, but we had a couple of direct messages and stuff like that. And I was talking to him about how he has to leave the country to go find himself, and he does all these breathing exercises and stuff, all for his mental health or whatever. But yeah, just had a little bit back and forth on a thing. That was about it. A little message. He called me a clown yesterday because I commented Sharia thing, saying that if Hughes gets injured again, if history repeats itself, which do you know what I mean? At this stage, normally people don't get injured, but he got injured on the Monday somehow. So I just said to Sharia, keep your weight low, and that might be a shot for you if Hughes gets injured again. And yeah, he didn't like that comment. I think that tickled him a little bit. He didn't like that. Did
you happen to see Paul's latest documentary?
Watch bits and bobs of it. I haven't actually sat down to watch the full thing. I've sort of said I've had people say to me, should I say, sorry, that he mentioned me in it, but supposedly he was nice about how he mentioned me in it. He wasn't his usual self. He actually went about it in a sort of respectful way. So, but we've had quite a very similar career the whole way through. I mean, I know we broke his hand really bad and stuff like that, whereas I broke my hand and then I broke my thumb. So I've actually broke it twice, but sort of same thing he had. I know he had a lot more eyes on him as this big prospect coming out of Ireland. I never sort of had that in the UK because the UK scene wasn't as well documented as it was sort of for these Irish guys, Gregor coming through and stuff. But yeah, we've sort of had the same sort of career. Both had some injuries that's kept us out of the game for a while. Continued training through it, continued getting better. Whereas a lot of guys would have just sort of used that as our time to just piss about. Whereas it seems we ain't. And look where it's got us. I mean, we're both right at the top of the division. Of course, I am number 1 and he's number 2. But yeah, all that comes down to all the hard work you put in when it ain't going right for you, when it's not going how you want it to go, sort of thing.
Yeah, that's why we have to have you on, Jordan. It's like we're absolutely buzzing for a Cage Warriors 145 in London on November 4th. It's going to be in the Indigo at the O2. It's going to be live on UC Fight Pass, and obviously get onto Jordan, wreck his head for tickets as well, Ross.
Yeah, do it now, sooner rather than later, because you don't be doing it too close to fight week, because that man's got other business to handle. Jordan, tell us this. Obviously, you've fought Paul before. You've trained from now on 2 separate occasions. How do you feel this fight's going to go?
I honestly just think I'm going to be levels different to him this time. I know he's tough. I know he's tenacious. I know he really wants it bad. And, you know, my coach just keeps saying to me, look, just be prepared for this war, prepare for a war sort of thing. But I really do think, I think I'm just going to pick him apart. I think, of course, he's got the heart and he's got the cardio and stuff to push into the later rounds. But I think as the later rounds come, it's just going to get more and more apparent that I'm just that step above him. And that's how I think it's going to go.
Jordan, would you say you're a step above him? Like where exactly do you see you are above him?
I think everywhere. I genuinely think everywhere. I think if you're going to put us technique on paper, I think I am just that one step ahead of him with everything. I've obviously got I've got the bigger frame than him. I'm the half an inch taller than him. I've got the longer arms. I've sort of got a fighter's body. You know, I've got long legs, long arms, and I've got a short torso. Whereas he's more he's got that shorter, stockier. He's got the shorter arms, the thicker arms. So I just think I was just sort of made. I think I was just the perfect matchup for his body, and I just think that's just how you're going to see it. I think I'm just going to be that half an inch too far out for him. And I think when we hit the clinches, I think everyone's in for a real big shock.
And everyone's in for an absolute cracker. Like, anyway, that's needless to say.
Well, look, if you saw the first fight, the second fight is half as entertaining. Like, it's going to be an absolute great fight. Jordan, obviously your goal is to win here and get signed to the UFC. So tell us this: who would you like to see stand across me in your UFC debut? And then, is there one person in the featherweight division who you just love to fight? Bar the champ, obviously, because everyone wants to fight the champ.
Do you know what? I've been so focused on it. I haven't really been keeping up to date with the sort of UFC. I think I've said this a few times. I think a good stylistic matchup for me getting straight in there would be an explosive fight for everyone. Would be someone like a Barboza. I think that as a first fight, going straight in there, that's a fight people would be like, okay, do you know what I mean? Let's see how he strikes well with the guys on Cage Warriors. Let's see how he's going to do against someone of that sort of caliber. I think that'd be a good starting fight to get into. You know, it's a hard fight straight off the bat, and it'll propel you straight up there. Barboza, I reckon.
Yeah, and I don't think a lot of people asked for Barboza in the first fight, so that just goes to show you where Jordan rates himself. Like, a lot of people would probably try and avoid Barboza because they want to be able to walk after the fight. But I'd be down for Jordan Vucenic versus Edson Barboza all day, every day.
Yeah.
Jordan, when you're in training camp now, like, do you see it? Like, are you just solely focused on Paul, or are you just solely focused on just like sharpening your whole game?
Yeah, I think this one's just been solely focused on my game, really, just trying to improve all the little things, trying and like worm out all the bad little habits I've got and stuff like that. There's been a lot of big changes as well in our gym, and it's just sort of forced me to have to adapt to my game differently as well. So Yeah, it's been good. It's been a very eye-opening camp. You know, my coaches have really got behind me with this one. We've been traveling to other gyms. I've been sparring with other people. I've still been doing, 95% of it's been in our gym, but we've been traveling, sparring. You know, getting that different looking with different guys and stuff like that. So it's been eye-opening. We've been going to the gym, seeing what's good, seeing what's wrong in sparring, and then what's wrong. That's what we've been focusing on in the gym, on trying to improve.
Yeah, and like everyone knows that you bring a big support with you to the Indigo at the O2, especially last time out. But Ross, before we wrap things up, we're going to have to give Jordan the final word. Jordan, is there anything you want to say to the fans out there at the Epidemic Army, or even Paul Hughes tuning in?
Just thank you to everybody for all the support, as always. I was blown away by the support last time, and I'm sure I'm going to be blown away by it again this time. And I'm just looking forward to just a big night and a good fight. And to Hughes, should have come on it with me. It would have been nice. It would be nice, but yeah. Look, I know he would have trained hard, and I'm excited. I genuinely am. I'm excited for this fight. I'm excited to sort of have to dig deep and yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for it. I'm excited for everything that's going to come.
Yeah, so Cage Warriors 145 London, November 4th, Hughes versus Vucenic. Ross, unmissable.
You better believe it. May the best man win. Guys, thanks a million for anyone who has watched this. If you are on YouTube, hit the subscribe button. It really helps us grow. Make sure to like and share. Drop a comment below who you think is going to win between Paul and Jordan. And as always, stay energized.
Stay energized.
Energized show, up the Irish. Been sussing you guys a couple of times. I've seen a couple of clips. I think you've done some interviews with Dylan Moran and that I saw. So keep going, keep up the good work, guys.